Hey crafty people, welcome back to my channel, and in case you're new here, I'm Sarah, also known as Craft Nerd because I'm a nerd who loves to craft. I do paper crafting, card making, junk journaling, and mixed media art. Let's get crafting! Okay, I think I'm ready to finish the Apothecary. Yay! Of course, I was doing prep work off camera and put the piece in, forgetting that I wanted to raise it up so that I could put the lights behind it. So yeah, we're gonna have to finagle the lights with it in place. Let's start by attaching the shelf, which I drew a line for where it's gonna go. You're not gonna see the line once it's glued in. I think that's gonna work. Where did my lights go? There they are. I think I can glue that in and there'll be enough space, yeah, to slip those guys through the gap. Okay, that'll work. So let's just use some of my Aileen the Ultimate glue. I'm gonna stick some bottles in to hold it in place while it dries and just set it, make sure it's in place and that the bottles are just holding it there, and set that off to the side. Now let's work on, let's do the front door, move that off to the side. These are from the Halloween baseboards and I just cut it in half, and then I've got one of the Halloween sticker books by Tim Holtz. And what we're gonna put under on these are, where did it go? We're gonna go the Apothecary, Harry A. Potter, and we're gonna ink it so it fits in better. .154 High Street. That is not straight at all. And I think, yeah, we're gonna wanna glue these on. All right, so let's do that. Grab our glue, and actually I'm gonna cut off the little extra apostrophe at the end. Chartered 1804. No, that did not. Ugh. Well, that's where that's gonna go. It's okay if it's a little ragged looking. It's the sign on the front. Set that aside, let that dry. Then we're gonna grab a distress crayon, which I had a minute ago, and picket fence. Actually, I want to grab some browns on this. So let's try, this is Vintage Photo, and that one's Walnut Stain. So we're gonna brown and then add more white probably. I'm using the same brush, which I don't have clean one. Let me see if I can clean the bristles off of this enough to use it. Cleaned it off. We're gonna try this again. All right, I think that's about as good as I'm getting it. It's not exactly how I envisioned it, but it'll work. All right, and we're gonna attach it onto our door with a couple brads, which I have. And I realized I forgot something. All right, let's hold this up. Poke holes in. Add our brad. The other side. This brad. I think our doorknob's gonna go about there. So let's add our doorknob. That. Let me go grab what I forgot. I'm gonna use some nails to nail these guys on. I kind of feel like, let's ink the top of them first. I'm just gonna grab my brown brush. I'm also gonna hit them with a little texture hammer. It's not doing what I want. I wanted to bend it over, and I see them in the videos all the time, you know, the Tim Holtz things where they've bent them over, and I can't seem to get it to do that. So we're just gonna shorten them. Glue this on, which I should have already done, but didn't think about. Gonna add a little glue in the hole just to be on the safe side. That went all the way into the mat. Oh no. Oh no. That one's not even through, and this one's all the way into the mat. That's about right. Ow! That really went through into the mat. We're gonna add a little bit more glue behind these guys in the hopes that they will stick. I'm gonna set this aside and let it dry. Actually, first I wanna... All right, let's let that dry. Okay, let's go ahead and glue this on. And I think I'm gonna use the Black E6000. Mostly because we've got so much bumpiness in the back from all of the brads. And I am gonna go in with some washi so that we have nice finished edges, so I'm not too worried about the fact that I think I have some edges showing. All right. I am worried about the fact that I'm getting glue everywhere. And I just knocked something over with my arm. All right, let's start putting stuff inside. And our lights. All right, where did I put the lights? Somewhere there. Here. Oh, and there was one other thing I had wanted to do on this bottle is put a bubble on top. But I need to double check heights. So let's start by putting our shelves in. They fit nice and snug. Oh, and I wanted to double check. I think I might have mixed up my drawers. Actually, no, that does not like that spot at all. All right, let's do this. And this. And since we're basically gluing paper to paper, I'll use my art glitter glue to glue the sides and the bottom in place. And I'm remembering this time not to glue the back. If you watched the wand and broom shop that I did, I messed up and glued the drawers in place because I glued something along the back. All right, so that's in place. Now, I put this here. Can I still stick that on top? I can. Let's do that. Set it aside for a minute. Just knocked something over. Not sure what. When I realize I'm missing something, I'll go hunting for it because I don't see anything down here. All right, so I want to put a Velcro dot on our light mechanism. And actually, I kind of want to... All right, right now I'm just trying to figure out the best way to corral our wires. And I think that's it. And I think just need to get some kind of twist tie for them. Let me go see what I can find to tie these together. The twist tie. I've twist tied it together, and I think I'm just gonna add a little tape to this to hold it down. And then cut off the excess. So that's gonna go in like that. Of course, now it's too clumpy. Let's see if we can tweak that so that it fits in our book nicely again. I'd like to put it in like so. Well, it's gonna go on the shelf like that, so it's okay if it's sticking out a little over there. All right. Let's pull this out because it's gonna be in our way. Actually, we're gonna go in like this because we want the wire to the back. So that is going to be kept in place by the bottle for the wing of bat, which is going to get glued down and hold that in place. Right, so if I glue that down there, I can still tip this out. Yep. I think we're going to leave a little bit. That's all right. Here's what we're going to do. We are going to Velcro dot this to the book page so that it at least stays in place a little bit. Then I'm going to go let dogs out. Actually, no, then I'm going to glue the bats down. And then I'll go let dogs out because dogs be wanting out again. All right, so that's Velcro dotted to the book cover. That's going to go there. We're going to take some glue and glue this into place because that's going to hold our book in place. Hopefully I'm on screen. That's where I want it. So what we're going to do is we're going to take that out. We're going to leave that to dry. I'm going to go deal with dogs. I'll be right back. Dog changed his mind. All right, wing of bat's going there. Oop. Our dead man bones is going there. I want to give that a minute more because I want to have the lights to like jigger around. So let's put the inside door on. Since I'm just gluing paper to paper, I'm just gonna glue it on. It's slipping and it's sliding, and I'm gonna grab some clamps. Let's start figuring out what we're doing on our top shelf. I am going to put something behind this to prop it up at a semi-angle, which means you should be able to still see it, and I can actually see, and our things won't be flopping around so much, hopefully. It's not working as I had hoped it would. All right. Because I'm also going to, we've got our apothecary, and then I figured I can fit a shelf over here that I'm gonna treat kind of like a table and give it legs, I think. May have to do some rejiggering, I'm not sure. All right, let's see. Can we put our lights back in? I think, yes, our wing of bat's glued down. Let's unwind our lights. Take out our bottles. So that goes in like that.
if I want to pull that out, pull that out. Yeah, I want to definitely leave that light below. So let's start putting our lights in. Not sure how well you can see this, but they're on a wire, so I'm just gonna kind of bend them back and forth. And they're ending up lining up with each other. So what I may do is bend it back over here in the middle. And I'm going to put a piece of tape down to hold it in place. And I'm not worried about the tape because we're going to cover that up between the bottles, and we're going to put some moss back there. You're not going to see the tape. Uh-oh, the bottle was apparently not as well glued down as I thought it was. I'm gonna stick an acrylic block in, because that should keep everybody where they need to be while we futz around. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is turn off the lights for now, add moss back there. We are going to add moss to hide the lights on the top shelf. I'm gonna try and do it so you can see, but if I hold it flat, like, I guess we can do it upside down so that I can see and you can see. And I'm gonna add another piece of tape over here to hold those down. I want to add a little bit. I've got purple. Let's add a little bit of the purple. Because why not? And I'll just add a little collage. Whoa! too worried about that because it's mostly going to be covered. Because we're then going to glue our bottles on the shelf in place. That'll give a nice glow. All right, for the bottles, I'm going to use my Aleene's The Ultimate because me and the collage medium are not getting along. All right, let's glue these guys in. And I'm gonna have to stand this up because otherwise they're gonna fall. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I'm just gonna use E6000 to glue all of the bottles in place, and then I'll be back. All right, so I added a little bit of lichen and some cheesecloth in between. Now for hiding the lights up here, we're gonna do cheesecloth and pretend it's spider web. And I've got a piece of, or a Tim Holtz spider, and I put it on some fishing line. And what I'm gonna do is thread it, tie it to the wire, I think, if I can get it through. There we go. Ew, got glue on my tweezers. Got it through, but I got him through backwards, of course. Okay, I'm gonna trim off my excess fishing line. Then I'm gonna glue my cheesecloth up along here, like the underside of the shelf. Gonna lift up our spider. Oh, that looks cool. All right, next we are gonna glue this guy on. Yes, which mostly hides the rest of the lights. Let go. Let's glue him on. That's gonna have to stand up so that you can't see anymore while it dries. So I am gonna do more moss on the top of the shelf and add this file in off camera. I'll be back in a bit. So I went ahead and finished gluing everything on because it's a little difficult to glue so that you can see it on camera and not have it sliding off because of, you know, gravity and such. So
Let's take a close-up look at our Apothecary Shop. Look at the bottles on the shelf on his door. Our top shelf, our bottom shelf, and our drawers. And we've got our toadstools and mushroom caps, our drawer of dragon scales, and our drawer of unicorn horns. And here's what it looks like with our lights on. Yep, I need to adjust the light above our candle. There is the front. So that is our Apothecary Shop. So that's all for today. If you enjoyed this video, please do all the things that lets YouTube know you enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave me a comment down below. Thanks for joining me, and happy crafting.